Hey guys, this is Lax from North Phoenix. Welcome to my backyard orchard. So when I say orchard, there are a couple of things comes to my mind. The one is commercial orchard. The other one is what we see here, the backyard orchard. So what is the main difference between these two? So my view is we go to a shop, we buy the fruit with a look and feel. But in the backyard, it's totally different. Our focus, our entire focus is what we need to do to make this fruit to taste better. So that being said, this is going to be a little lengthier video, could be like close to 20 to 25 minutes, because I'm going to identify each of the plants that I have, and I'm going to talk quickly about some of the fruits I already tested within my yard. So what you see here is a 24 months transformation. It was green previously 24 months ago, but with the grass and the typical palm trees, typical desert trees, which got transformed to a tropical and subtropical backyard. Okay, let's start from here. The first tree that I want to talk about is tropical pink guava. So it was planted 20 months ago. It was in a 5-gallon pot, and what you see here is close to like 16 feet high and 10 feet wide. One thing I want to point out about the guava is they thrive well in Arizona weather. That's a key for us. Maybe a year protection during summer and winter would help them to survive. It depends on the size of the tree that you plant. But after 2 years, after 18 months, they're really doing a great year. It yielded almost close to 250 fruits, guava, and the taste was something like sweet and sour, unique taste. We all, me and my friends, we all love this fruit. The other tree that you see here close to my pond, Koi pond, here are a couple of trees. The one is a Bonanza peach. The other one is a unique variety of mango, which is a coconut cream. I mean, I never ate any mango. It tastes like coconut cream. It's totally different taste. I loved it. It was planted again 24 months ago. It was in 3-gallon small tree. The difference in this coconut tree, the way they grow, coconut cream mango, the way it grows is like a kind of flip-flop. You will see the leaves going all around the stems, going all over. It's not going to like a solid trunk. But anyway, the fruit is good, so it's worth to plant. Another plant, which is a peach. First 1 year I was focusing more on the tropical, subtropical fruits. Then also started focusing on this year, 2017, second year on deciduous plus stone fruits. So I thought like I can go for a peach, which is Bonanza, is basically a dwarf version, close to my pond, which is going to add a more look to my koi pond. So I think I'm expecting the fruits next year, in spring. Just imagine like 30 plus fruits hanging around close to the pond. It gives a different look. This one is everybody, okay, every single person who loves mango loves this variety called Cari mango. I need not to talk about the taste and flavor. This stays always in the top list. The one difference what I learned about this plant is it can take a lot of sun. The way I planted position here is it can take the west sun completely. So that means if you're in Arizona, if you want to pick mango tree, go for Cari. That should be the first pick. The next tree is giant mulberry. I tell everyone, okay, if you want to plant top 5 trees, okay, the mulberry should be on the top list, because number one, they grow faster, which is going to create a microclimate for you. Number two, the foliages. Look at specifically this giant mulberry. The foliages are really big. So what you see here, half of the foliage is gone because of the fall, but that gives a totally different look. The people comes in, they love this one. And there is another plant I'm going to show you guys, which is castor. Those foliages attracts the people. And not only that, it yielded a lot of fruits, kind of close to 2.5 inch fruits. Anytime I start my tour here during the summer, in the spring, after the spring, people stop by here and start eating it. That kind of invites the people, motivates the people. Why can't they go for such plants in their yard? The lime, typical citrus. I have 2 citrus. Okay, I don't show much interest on the citrus for whatever the reason, but I have a couple of citrus. The one is, I think it's Asian lime or bear lime, whatever it is. First year it yielded, but second year I didn't see. But this year I'm going to see. Third year I'm going to see how best it's going to do. Let's talk about some exotic fruit trees here. What you see here is again close to the pond is another plant called Jujube. The variety is sugar Jujube. There are other varieties I've heard, and in fact I've tasted the fruits called Lee Lang. But the difference I found in the sugar Jujube is the sweetness and flavor. Not only that, it is very crispy, according to me. There are three stages I kind of noticed in this Jujube. Of course, any Jujube for that matter. Because when I planted, there were 10 fruits hanging. Okay, so I ate each one of them in different stages. Number one stage is, of course, the beginning stage, green color, like oval shaped fruit. The second stage is half ripening, brown and green. The third one is completely ripening, like dates color. So basically, this is there is another name for this called Chinese date. I ate in all three stages. All three stages, it was really good. So don't miss this. If you like Jujube, and there is no thorn in this. That is another thing actually. There's no thorn in this plant, Jujube plant. So there should be also another pick, and it thrives well, drought tolerant, whatnot actually. Mexican papaya, the best fruit tree in my yard. I'm going to say this again for every plant, but that's true actually. You would see yesterday I picked a couple of them. I do have the last harvest ready to pick. It was planted like again 19 months ago. I protected this first 2 years. I'm not sure this year I would be covering this during the winter, but I'm going to cover the trunk, okay, with hay grass and all the stuff. There will be a separate video how to protect all these things. I can certainly post. But for now, I love those Mexican papaya. Seedless, it is awesome. Couple of banana varieties you would see. This one is Brazilian banana. That one is, if I'm pronouncing it right, that's Oranco. Both are grown, in the ground for the last like 24 months. You would see more pups coming up actually. This foliage is like more than 6 feet. The leaves are more than 6 feet. That's awesome. There are yielding in each of the fruit trees, but it appeared in the wrong time during the winter. So you can imagine I'm waiting something to happen during the summer. But this adds a great look to my yard. Okay. Let me turn here. This one is white guava. I tasted the fruit, then I bought the plant. Very juicy, less seed, thin skin, of a decent size guava. Awesome. This is really good. So the next guava variety what you see here is mine is a white guava, and the fruit is a little bigger. As I said, very juicy. Less seed is always inviting. Don't miss this. If you find a white guava with less seed and all the stuff, if the nurseries can explain you, go for it. This one is a stone fruit, KD apricot. I planted this like 3 months ago. So that means I bought it in 24-inch box. Some of the fruit trees here, like close to like 5 to 6 are in 25 gallon, the bigger plants. Rest of them are planted like 3 gallons and 5 gallons and 7 gallons of different, 15 gallons of different varieties. So this one is bigger. I bought 2 years. Almost like this is 6 years old tree, I believe. So the one thing I noticed about the apricot in all my friends' home in my urban gardening is they don't like the sun that much. Look at the hummingbird. Awesome. They don't like the sun. Actually, you could see the foliage is drying. At the same time, there are some new growth. That's what we want to watch. I'm expecting some yield this year, Q1, spring season. I will keep you guys posted on that. Here comes the sugarcane. There are 2 sugarcane varieties I have in my yard. The one is green, complete green. The other one is purple. But now what happened this year, I don't know. The top portion stays purple, that is even light purple. The bottom kind of fades slowly and fades, and it is like a green. Okay, so within these 2, I don't know which one is Hawaiian, the other one is Mexican. But this one I love. The green one is really sweet. I love it. The whole cycle I found in Arizona, I don't know, man, I don't remember back in my country what was the cycle. If you look at closely, there are pups started coming. That means it's ready to harvest. October to November, that's a period, 11 months period. It gets mature and ready to be harvested. And here you go. Big Jim loquat, one of the Chinese tree. Many of you knows that. Very sensitive tree to be grow. Very difficult to grow in Arizona. heat and all this stuff. So I need to find a way how I am going to protect this. You would see the summer stress even today. But however, what I started doing is that in addition to the microclimate from my big castor plant, I will talk about that in a few minutes. I also added a banana plant next to it. So the idea is next to 1 year, I should have at least 1 or 2 bananas here. That's going to be like close to 15 feet, shading this naturally. But even now, right, now we are around noon now. You would see there are a lot of shades coming from the sugarcane and also my next plant, which is Pakistan mulberry. After 1:30, 2 o'clock, the castor plant takes care of it by protecting it from the west sun. But if you go for loquat, there are a couple of varieties. I mean, whichever the variety you choose, but ensure that you place them in the right place, because it's going to be very difficult to grow them. I have another loquat I'm going to show you, which is in the ground for the last 24 months, but due to the wrong place in the west side, it's not thriving well. So let's talk quickly about another fruit tree here. It's a Pakistan mulberry, my second mulberry. Really thriving well. It was in 15 gallon and it's been in the ground more than 8 months. I didn't protect during the summer. We need not to protect this for any during any season. They can take the heat, they can take the cold. I love the mulberries. So the idea is I'm not going to grow this more than like 15-16 feet. I'm going to cut it and ensure that it's going to be like a round canopy and helping my other plants to protect my other plants here, tropical plants. And I ate somehow at least close to 6 to 7 fruits from it first year. What I noticed was it is like 4 to 5 inch size, 4 to 5 inch size length with a great mulberry flavors, very sweet. I also built a small garden bed to experiment few of the veggies. Hey, here you go. This is the first time I'm seeing this. Okay, good. I have dosacas and few other veggies, and this is my experiment on beetle leaves. I'm trying to see what is the level of protection it requires to grow successfully. The beetle leaves are in the ground for the last I would say like 6-7 months throughout the summer with the shade of these plants, veggies. So far it's going good. I have 2 interesting plants here. Okay, the one I have to talk about is this one. If you guys can look at the foliage, you will be able to identify. This is sugar apple. Very, very difficult to grow in Arizona. First year I protected summer. The winter obviously I protected 2 winters, and this summer I didn't shade this at all because it's not required. The castor plant, which is for the last, which grown within 18 months, close to like 20 feet, 18 feet, that is shading my sugar apple. That's one of the plant here. Very happy during the summer. Knock on the wood. I'm also trying to learn what it really takes for them to ensure that they are growing good. So the microclimate, number one microclimate. Number 2, again microclimate. Number 3, microclimate. So if you have good microclimate, go for the sugar apple. Otherwise, don't put the sugar apple in the middle of the yard. Avocado, sugar apple, star fruit, lychee, loquat, it's not going to grow for sure. I had 2 fruits, couple of fruits this year for the first time, and one of the fruit fell. Actually, the other fruit was ripened in the plant. We had a family fruit tasting video also in the YouTube. That was really awesome. The fruit was really good, so I'm kind of super excited. I'm going to see how I can need to protect this during the winter the best. If it requires some level of hay grass on the bottom of the trunk, that's what the best we can do. The rest the castor plant should take care. This plant, this is one of the exotic plant I planted, which was my last planting during the season. This is called lone gun. The variety is Kohala lone gun, and another name for this is a dragon eye fruit. Dragon eye fruit, correct. I tested this in Jay's home and I loved this. The second day, immediately I went and bought it. It was in 15 gallon. I'm having a very close watch on this because I learned from you guys that the longan, lychee, the moment you plant, they have more shock than other plants. I could see that. It was kind of halfway green, and I'm seeing some of them are getting dried leaves, some of the foliages, there are drops, but I'm having a close watch on this. But just for your information, I did not taste anything from this plant. Maybe next year I would know more about this plant. Here you go. I love this mango tree. One of my best mango tree here that I planted almost like 10 months ago. This have already seen one summer here in Arizona. This is Imam Pasant. When I planted it was in 25 gallon. Let me be very clear. So don't take me wrong. Within 2 years it's grown like 8 years old tree. No, this is 25 gallon tree. But again, not only money, it's more than that. There are a lot of efforts in digging in and ensuring that that goes right into the hole. And planting is a big job. Okay, so a lot of care, and also I learn how to ensure that this is going to thrive well. For now, what I'm seeing during the fall, I mean, most of the Florida leaves or nursery foliages have dropped. What you see is most of them are Arizona leaves. So for good, I need to find a way how to protect this during the winter, because that's going to be the first winter. So let me move on here. I do have so here the Barbados cherry. Okay, I planted this specifically here so that it can protect my Imam Pasant during the west, in the west side. The idea is, my design is I'm going to allow this to grow at least like 6-7 feet wide, and also 3 more feet high. That is close to like 10 to 11 feet, which is going to take care of the heat during the summer, and it's going to protect my Imam Pasant naturally, because this guy Barbados cherry can take more heat. That's my understanding. And other thing I want to highlight about this tree is, soon after the planting, within 2 weeks, it started flowering, and I also already ate a few Barbados cherry. That's amazing. I mean, I never seen a fruit tree that can flower within 2 weeks and start fruiting. And there was not even a flower in the plant when we planted. Within 2 weeks, you start getting the yield. It's unbelievable, amazing. So guys, if you want to go for cherry in Arizona, the Barbados cherry, and the variety is Sweet Florida. So you got to be a little careful in buying this. That's what my understanding from my gurus here. So it's a Sweet Florida, or Florida Sweet, whatever it is actually. Here you go, my fig. Needless to say, in Arizona, it thrives well. Okay. If you ask me, what would be the best figs? Top 3 picks. My picks would be number 1, brown turkey. Number 2, black mission. Number 3, Peter honey. This is Peter honey, 18 months growth. But unfortunately, there are some fruits started falling, so I'm not sure. I'm still trying to figure it out, like what makes it to fall before ripening. I'm getting some advice from the experts too. But one of my best tree here, I tested few of the fruits. It was really good. It's a Peter honey once again. I have my papaya, another second papaya. The difference here is I bought a papaya which has got 2 trunks, and also pups, a couple of pups. The whole thought is within 2 years, I mean, let me put it this way. My learning is within 2 to 3 years. After 3 years, the papaya's yield will be tapered down. So that means you need to be planning for another papaya tree. So I yielded in that papaya 1 season, and second season I'm expecting, and after that I'm not sure. So I planted this. Now after 1.5 years, I'm going to get something from. Not only that, I have my beautiful seeding area. I want having some papaya close to my seeding area, which is not too dense but straight, tall growing, something with a tropical look. It's going to add more tropical look. So let me move on here. I have my another castor plant here to create microclimate for a couple of trees I'm going to talk about in a few minutes. You see here lemongrass, which are in steroids. mulch, nothing else mulch. We will talk about the mulch during the end of the video. I also have the rosemary. I just planted for a specific reason to avoid the mosquitoes, eliminate the mosquitoes. I have a lot of this kind of medicinal plants, but I'm not really using it, leveraging it. I need to learn how to consume them. But anyway, just FYI, it added a great look to my seating area. Behind these plants, there are 2 other plants which I placed a little bit closer, like 7 feet apart. This is white guava. Another white guava. The fruit is smaller. Okay, and yielded close to 30 to 40 fruits. 30 to 35 fruits this year. The one difference I found in this guava is, even 1 fruit out of 20 ripens, the whole west area is going to smell really good. And that's what we wanted in a yard. And that's the uniqueness of this plant. And sweet, I mean, the taste wise, it's really, really good. It's one of my another top pick. The next plant is a unique plant, which is basically called Aprium, the hybrid version of apricot and plums. I tested again this in Jay's home. I fell in love. The next day I bought it. It was planted in 15 gallon, watching them very closely on the foliages, how it is doing. Because the watering here is a little different than other areas in the yard. If you look at, you get more shade here due to the wall. So I got to be a little be careful playing around. So every watering I go and touch the soil, ensure that it is dry. So there are a lot of techniques. How do we find that? But one technique I found is like I go and at least 1 inch I go and check how the soil is damp or moisture. According to that, I decide on my watering. So few more plants towards the west side. So this year 2017, my focus was on the west side to ensure that I plant more and more, which is going to stay together to protecting it so that it can protect each other. The first one here is another mango variety, which is Hatcher mango, patented Florida. The uniqueness about this mango that I learned is the size of the mango is very, very big, bigger than a baseball. This is the first year, planted in 7 gallon. Hopefully we'll see the next year how that is going to thrive well with the fruits, whatever it is. But again, one advice to the people who are mango lovers, I mean any fruit lovers, right? First year, if you see more number of fruits, knock it out. Okay, keep 1 or 2 fruits to just feel about the trees, the fruit taste, because we want the focus of the tree on the roots to establish first. The second year, go for it. Enjoy the fruits. Okay, now I have the Cavendish banana here, a dwarf version. I just wanted to place it on the west side to get a tropical feel, and also it is next to my bedroom, master bedroom. This guy is going to grow, my understanding is like 6 feet at the most, 7 feet. And if the fruits are going to come, banana is going to hang next to a hip, close to a hip. That's a beauty. I'm kind of more excited, but it's going to take time. In all these plants, right, what we need is more than the passion. We need to be passionate. We need to have enough patience actually, because we are not going to get overnight. So you have to wait for 2 to 3 years. Anyway, this one is another coconut cream mango. I love coconut cream. As I said, I went for the second mango tree, which is in 15 gallon. I planted like 4 months ago. One thing I want to highlight about coconut cream is they're very sensitive. So you cannot put them in the middle of the yard. They need some microclimate. So all that what I did is I put this guy on the west side next to my moringa tree, 18 months old moringa tree, which has grown like almost 20 feet. So it's giving a good shade. So about moringa tree, right? See, every person should have a moringa tree. We know that the benefits. I'm not going to talk about the benefits. But one thing I tell to the people, one-liner or in short, you bring all the best of the fruits in the planet, best of the vegetables, spinaches in the planet, make a smoothie and drink it, or whatever the way you want, make a paste and eat it. That's a benefit we get it from one tree. Okay, and many people started realizing. You have seen nowadays Lowe's and Home Depot started selling this. When I planted 18 months ago, it was like 1 inch. The trunk size was 1 inch. Now it is close to 9 inch. It's a 9 inch trunk, what you see here. I'm not talking about the circumference. I'm talking about the thickness of the trunk. I have Malaysian guava here. Another guava, 4th guava variety that I love. The foliage is totally different from other guava varieties. It looks like an ornamental plant, and also the fruit also is completely different color. It's not green or yellowish. It's going to be kind of the similar color, the foliage color that you see here. Little purple and also kind of dark green, gray, whatever you call it as. It yielded some good fruits, and I tasted it. It's really awesome actually. The inside, the core is a real red. This is the actual red guava. So let's move on. I have some flowers I planted here. I mean, I've created some blocks. I have to put some blocks to hold the mulches, not getting into a spot where I have my walls. And what I did, I just I put some potting soil inside the hollow blocks, and I put some seeds. Zinnia flower that you see here, and marigold. Okay, out of these 2 types of flowers, I love the zinnia, mainly for one reason. Every flower stays minimum 2 to 3 weeks, regardless of the weather, heat. That is a great thing actually. It is not going to dry within 1 day. So zinnia is the best to go. if you're in Arizona. I have my brown turkey fig from the day I planted. It is yielding. It's been in the ground close to a year. It's growing good. I think the root, it's more focusing on the root system. Next year I'm expecting that to grow at least by 15 feet. So west side, go next to moringa, another tree that is going to grow 15 feet is the fig, brown turkey. The taste is really, really good. The one thing I want to point out about brown turkey taste from this plant, what I noticed is, if you guys have tasted something called tender palm, the white flesh from the tender palm, I get that taste somewhere in the middle of the fig flavor, regular fig taste. That was nice actually. Next is the Florida Prince peach. The advice that I got from the experts here is to go for the Florida Prince comparative with red, maroon, other peaches. The reason is the chill hours are less. They require less chill hours. Being in Arizona, a desert with the less chill hours, this is the best bet to go. I'm seeing here every day. I mean, I planted this in 15 gallon like 4 months ago. I'm seeing new foliages. Still there are some drops, foliages drop. I'm watching it very closely because watering is key actually. We don't want to overwater and underwater. So the next year, these two trees, peach and fig, the expectation is to grow at least 10 to 12 feet high minimum. Two other plants here we do have. I'm going to quickly touch upon that. The one is mango, another variety called cockshell. This is cockshell mango, planted in 25 gallon. Recently, when I planted it was in stress, summer stress, though it got accumulated to Arizona weather. So I'm watching it again every day. So far doing good. I don't see any issues, but I need to plan for protecting this during the winter. This is the first year in the ground. I need. But I heard about the cockshell fruit. It's a really great fruit, but I've not tasted before. Two plants here you would see. The one is red banana. I have to highlight something about this. So you saw before the 15 feet, 16 feet bananas, couple of varieties, Brazilian and Oranco, and this is red banana. All these three are planted on the same day. Believe me, the red banana is really, really slow grower, dead slow. So if you want to go for banana, if you want to get motivated by seeing them to grow faster and giving you the look that you like, that you think you mind, do not go for red banana as the first tree. If you need another variety, you can go for it, but red banana should not be your first choice. This one is another unique veggie tree. One of my close friends have this plant here in Arizona. He gave me the seed. It's lentils, basically. Lentils. The beauty here is it started. I mean, you can see some pods already coming. So I'm expecting the beans sooner, lentil beans sooner. So there is no logic in planting next to the banana. I just got a space, I seeded, and it was like for 4 months it was like within 1 to 2 feet, and now after the summer it is like 8 to 9 feet. It's going to grow denser. I want to see my west completely covered with green lush. This is non-edible, called princess tree. I got it from a gentleman here who gifted me for my great attitude, good behavior with him. This is iconic tree of Japan. I'm testing it here, how good this is going to grow in Arizona. So there's nothing special about this tree other than an iconic tree of Japan. The foliages are going to be huge, but I'm not seeing growing bigger, but expecting that to grow bigger this year. Two other plants here. The one is loquat. I was mentioning that one of my loquat that I placed wrongly in the west side. If you look at now, you have a lot of microclimate from the castor plant, but previously not. 2 years in the ground, I did not eat any fruit out of this. I'm waiting for the next year. I want to see how this is going to go good. And there is another pepper. It's a different pepper. It's kind of a round pepper, very, very hot pepper. I'm not going to talk about that. But here's another exotic citrus tree. My second citrus tree. This is called Miwa Kumquat. Miwa Kumquat. This is the size of the tree. I mean, fruit. Okay, it's basically, kumquat is a very slow grower. The fruit, the difference in the fruit is you need not to peel the skin. You're going to eat it completely. So that means when you eat, the outer skin, the skin is going to be sweet, and the core, the inside, is going to be sweet and sour. That's the beauty of this plant. I already ate some of them. It's really doing good so far. That's all. And one last thing I want to talk about is morning glory. I love this morning glory. I just got this as a sapling from someone. It's growing good. Every day I get at least 200 flowers like this, and it drops at the end of the day after the noon. One thing I like about this plant is it invites a lot of bees that is required for the pollination for our fruits. Not only that, that brings hummingbirds and butterflies. So now with this and a combination of moringa, you would see a lot of happening here, butterflies and all the stuff. That's a good feel when you sit in the yard, in the middle of the yard, in the bench. You see all these kind of flying around you, of course without bothering you, hurting you. That's a great feel. Anyway, so these are my fruit trees as of now. One last thing I want to talk about is my koi pond. I decided, let me go for a pond, but I was thinking what is the best size I can go for. I put close to 90 days to build this, except the castle part, the waterfall. Every stone is close to 200 to 250 pounds. I engaged a contractor to help me on that, but the rest of the things were hand built end to end. Every person in my family were involved in this actually somehow. Anyway, this is a great addition to my yard. Builds the microclimate, humidity, number one. Number two, for the size of the pond, whatever the best of the humidity it can build, I mean, I can feel it. But not just that actually, just a great look and feel. And you have the noise of the waterfall. That's a great feel. Okay, so thank you everyone for watching this video. Any questions, you guys can talk to me. I can definitely share my thoughts. And I'm going to put few other videos related to individual plants. Thank you.